One thing that my wife does not like doing.
I will, if you're going to take on some of the action.
Jerry is jumping on a trampoline right now.
Look, you can't even talk about the subject without wanting to go back to...
Yeah, I get it. Go with your sister and go. We can't be trying to go around it, over it, under it, yeah? This book, we have to... Hey there, fam.
Welcome back to our channel.
Welcome back.
Guess who's back, baby? I'm fed up of saying this line because we just appear and disappear, but we are back.
Yeah, if we're honest, having a child, although our son Jeremiah, who we had 2 years ago, is such a blessing. We love him so much, but life is really full.
Honestly.
From the time that we wake up to then looking after our son, going to work, coming back, looking after our son, and then crawling ourselves to bed. It feels like there's no time for anything else.
3 years ago, we were doing so much more. We had so much going on. We're dabbling into this and that. We're posting on YouTube consistently. We're doing all of these things. And now we're in a position where we're only doing two things. Looking after our son and working full time. And that's it. And we feel like we're wiped out. So forgive us.
Guys, also, guess what? Like, we're pregnant as well.
Surprise! In case you didn't realise.
We're pregnant.
We thought we'd add more chaos
to
the family, but we're so excited. We're so thankful. Life is lifing.
We've been having conversations among ourselves, and we've been saying, look, life is really full. We've been waiting for a perfect moment to be able to come back to YouTube, start doing the things that we want to do, etc. And there is no perfect moment. So the time is now.
It's now. 2024 is the year of Gabes and Anna's return. Tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your auntie, tell everyone that Gabes and Anna are back, baby, and we're here to stay. The relationship environment in society,
it's been chaos.
It's been chaos.
And I think that the world needs Gabes and Anna back to come and restore order. Obviously with the Lord Jesus Christ right by our side. In order for us to come back to YouTube, there's some things that we need to do. So we've been having conversations again amongst ourselves about what do we need to do better in 2024. If we are going to come back to YouTube, like, we need to pattern our life up, right? We need to make sure things are in order, that we're organized, that we're communicating well, etc. So in this video, we're going to share some of the things that we've been thinking about as we're in 2024 and things that we need to be doing better.
Okay, so we're calling this...
Are these claps coming back into 2024?
They are. They're staying. They're never leaving. We're calling this the big reset, the Gabes and Anna reset. And one thing we're thinking about is more careful and detailed planning.
Yes.
Planning!
Definitely. Because Anna and I, we're dreamers. We love lying in our bed or going on long drive, just thinking about all the things that the Lord can grant us and all the blessing that we will receive and all the goals that we potentially could have. But one thing that my wife does not like doing is sitting down and having a conversation formally about what exactly are our goals for the next 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. We need to sit down and agree, because what happens is, I say that we want to do something, and I'm like, yeah. Then later on down the line, she's like, oh, I don't want to do that, So I need space for us to have a conversation. What do you want to achieve? What do I want to achieve? Let's agree and let's move on.
He wants my commitment.
Yes.
Right? You want my commitment to the goal.
Because if you don't commit, you derail. That's what happens.
But what I want is an action plan. I'm fed up of all these dreams and it'd be nice. It'd be nice to do this, or we should do that. You know, this is what our life will look like in 10 years. But what is the tangible actions that we need to do in order to get there? And who's going to take ownership of each of those actions?
Yeah, definitely.
So, because I tend to get overwhelmed. When Gabe says a vision, I tend to get overwhelmed because I think, oh my gosh, how am I going to make this happen? And then I take it all on, but then I don't actually do anything because I'm crippled by how big the goal is. But actually, if we sit down and we have these discussions and then we create actions...
Are you going to sit down though?
I will, if you're going to take on some of the actions and lighten my load. We have like time, dates assigned to each of these actions, and actually smaller actions make it feel a bit more realistic and manageable.
Plan, agree the goal, have the actions, and then deliver.
Another thing that we need to do in order to balance everything else that we've got going on in our life is have open and honest communication.
Yeah, definitely.
And it sounds so obvious, but it's very difficult to do.
Yeah, because what we find, we end up talking about the day-to-day things of our household, like, oh, Jerry needs that, or we need this, or how this is what's going on at work, etc. But we need to have open and honest communication about, again, the goals that we want to achieve. I find that one way that we can actually implement that is to be able to have those conversations on our car ride to church. It takes 40 minutes to church. We can have opportunities just to check in and find out how are you, etc. How are the goals going? Rather than getting to the deadline and realizing that it's not done. We need to have those safe spaces.
And we realize we have to be intentional about it. So we say this time on the way to church is for us to talk about specifically our goals and check in. And this feels like a business, honestly.
It does.
Relationships are crazy because you think you could just go with the flow and just, you know.
There's intentionality. You know, we always talk about intentionality. What I have really learned over the last 10 years of being with my wife is that I need to create a safe space for her to feel like she can open up. Allow her to have an open space just to be able to express herself so that we can move forward. If your wife has certain frustrations, it will hinder you. It will hinder your prayers that the Bible says, okay? So we need to make sure that our wives and each other, jokes aside, each other are, you know, like everything is okay.
And with the goals, sometimes, you know, women, we have spirit of discernment and things. And actually, if the goal needs to readjust slightly or
but you're timing is wrong,
we need to be able to express that. And our partners need to take that on with an open and willing heart, because we still get to the goal, but maybe there's a different method.
We don't want to do this during date nights. Date nights are for us to be able to have fun, enjoy each other, but we also, again, need to have other time where we talk about the nitty-gritty of the things that we're trying to achieve, how, you know, time for talking about Jerry, talk about our careers, talk about plans. But date nights is reserved for fun and romancing. Okay, romancing.
Another area that we're recessing in is rest and self-care. My favorite. And I think Gabes is finally understanding the importance of rest. Because this guy thinks he could just go, and he's going to be producing, you know, the best results. Or he thinks that I can just keep going, and he's going to get the best version of his wife. But 2023 was a big realization that...
Basically, Anna surprised me for my birthday. She took me to a nice shepherd's hut. It was very relaxing. It was all good. And when we came out of that, I just saw this glimmer of light just emerge for my wife.
The wife that you married,
she was just so happy, just so joyful, just so sweet. And then I had an epiphany that if I want to go faster and harder and attack life and hold it by the horns, we need to incorporate more rest and pit stops on that journey. Because sometimes, I admit, I can be quite a taskmaster, and my wife does get a bit overwhelmed.
He likes to suffer, this guy.
Huh?
You like to suffer.
I don't like to suffer.
You don't.
But at the end of the day, like, I think we grew up differently. I think, like, in my life, people told me, like, life will be hard, so keep going. So I'm more surprised when things are working out well and things are easy. But you, on the other hand, someone told you that life is just rosy. And then you just, if any kind of, you know, difficulty occurs, stop! You know, I must retreat. But no, we have to keep going.
Yes, but also you chose to marry me because I'm full of joy. And you like that spirit. So let's bring that into our relationship. He's spitting on me. Let's allow that to continue, even though life does get tougher. We have more responsibilities. Let's incorporate the rest so we can go further.
Burnout is a real thing. And I don't want to be leading a household of just burnt up. Even sometimes Joey's looking at me like that.
Exactly.
So I just want to make sure that, you know, Anna and our son Jeremiah and also our future child are not just looking at me like a proper taskmaster. So we're bringing more rest into 2024 and we're being intentional about scheduling it. I don't know how we booked our annual leaves last year, but it was a shambles. Like, we were working between Christmas and New Year with the only people in the building of our companies because we hadn't structured our annual leave well. So now moving forward, every quarter without fail,
we'll have a holiday booked. So get ready for our holiday vlog because we've got a Q1 holiday coming up. And Q2 is about to be booked because Gabes realizes now that we need the rest as a family. In order to go further together, we need to rest.
We get the point. In order for it to be sustainable.
Look, you can't even talk about the subject without wanting to go back to...
Yeah, I get it.
Another thing that we've decided to do well in 2024 is delegation. Yes.
Because there's a lot of things that we're doing that it's important to be done in the household, but should we be the ones doing them?
Yeah.
Like some things that we want to outsource. Cleaning, for example.
Yeah.
Sometimes cooking. We can just go to my mum's house and just eat at her house. That's what, hello. Eat at my mum's place. And also in regards to YouTube, like as we're coming back to YouTube, we need to actually work a lot smarter. We need to try and outsource a lot of things. We need to outsource editing. We need to outsource someone to help us maybe think about ideas and all that kind of stuff. We just need to outsource.
And there's certain things that we don't want to outsource, like of course our jobs, like that is something that we are going to be doing full time. And you know, our son, we're so intentional about, because we work full time, making sure that we have a lot of time with him, and that time is precious, and we don't want it to be multitasking with other things.
And outsource our relationship as well, because sometimes there's a tendency, like I not always want to rest. I can be like, okay, go with your sister and go. But I need to also make sure that I'm there so we spend time with each other, etc. We can't just outsource our marriage, outsource our child. We want to make sure that we would protect those things. So we want to spend time with each other and our son and have fun. But all the other administrative duties, I think we can try and devise a plan to outsource them as much as possible. If the Lord can just open the windows of heaven and give me a blessing of finances so I can get a chef, hey,
that would be the dream. There are things that we are in a privileged position that we can outsource. And actually, instead of us penny pinching and thinking about our pockets, let's actually think about our time. There are things that we really want to do, like be back on YouTube and produce content. So how do we free ourselves up from the tasks that we do not see as valuable for us to be doing, and get others to do them.
And we also need to ask for help. So although yes, we want to spend every living moment with our son Jeremiah, but this guy has now decided to forgo his nap. So that means from the time he wakes up to the time he sleeps at like 8 o'clock, from 6 to 8 he's pretty much up. If we want to be able to record YouTube videos, we need just to, plan accordingly so one of his aunties can come and take him right now. Jerry is jumping on a trampoline right now. His auntie has come to our house and has taken him to go and jump on a trampoline. So we thank you, Raquel, for doing that. We really appreciate you. So we need to just schedule those things, maybe like once a month, and then we'll be batch record our YouTube videos. And then for the rest of the month, just be able to enjoy, get people involved, ask for help, outsource where we can, so that we can make this sustainable.
Yeah, we've realised that now going with the flow is just not possible.
It's impossible.
It's not possible to achieve the things that we want to achieve. So we are going to be more structured, more planning, more intentionality, even planning our rest and incorporating that into the diary. And last but not least, in order to balance our life in 2024, we want to embrace the struggle.
Say it one more time.
Anna? Embrace the struggle.
Look, we're trying to balance. I'm just expressing myself. We're always trying to balance, but sometimes, it's not possible. You just got to suck it up and just go through it. There's a book I've been reading to Jerry, which is We're Going on a Bear Hunt. We can't go over it. We can't go under it. We have to go through it. Swishy, swashy, swishy, swashy. We have to go through it, fam. We can't be trying to go around it, over it, under it, This book, we have to go through it. Life is hard, like from time to time. Of course, we're gonna rest. Of course, we're gonna enjoy the journey. But sometimes you have to just suck it up. You have to just hold life by the horns and say, no, today, Satan, I will push through. The thing that the Lord has for me over there, I am going to go and seize it. You are not going to stop me from taking what the Lord has for me over there.
You're joking.
I must go through it. We can't go over it. We can't go under it. We have to go through it. We are praying that the Lord will enlarge our capacity, will stretch the tent pegs open, and we will be able to do more, achieve more, come back with that vavavoom. Say it with me. We can't go over it, we can't go under it, we have to go through it. Amen. So guys, we hope you enjoyed this video.
Yeah.
Share some things that you are trying to do in 2024 and how you're trying to balance life, because life is really a lot for us. Like, it's a lot.
Exactly.
It's a lot.
And if you got to the end of this video, that means you're a real Day Crew fam.
Amen.
A real one. So what we'd like you to do is subscribe to our mailing list.
Yeah.
We'd like to reach out to you directly, because who knows what 2024 is going to bring.
Exactly.
Is it bringing events?
Woo.
Are we going to do some face-to-face stuff?
Woo.
Are we going to give you some exclusive content for those who actually are real ones?
Yeah.
Who knows? Like, but anyway, just share your details via the link below, and we look forward to getting to know you a bit better and sharing more, maybe even meeting you face-to-face. Let's do this, 2024.
Let's go.
Gabes and Anna are back, baby.
We got a whole life by the horns. Come on.
And we'll see you in our next one.
Amen.
Bye.